Hi, Ebony.
Hi, Natasha.
I'm super excited for this conversation. You look amazing. Your background is lovely.
Mhm.
For those that are listening who aren't viewing the footage of this podcast, Ebony is standing behind a lovely, I want to say pink flowers. I'm awful. I'm not a florist. I'm the worst person when it comes to actually naming flowers, but they look like roses, but they're pink. It's so pretty.
Yes, you are correct. I'm in my home studio here today.
Nice. No, that's some home studio. It's lovely. Thanks again for joining me on the podcast today. Tell our listeners a little bit more about you and your journey into your current role in the medical device industry. How did you get started into that?
Well, sure, Natasha. You know, joining the med device industry, I never imagined even working in that particular industry. Joining corporate America in 1997 was something, again, I never imagined ever even doing. I never imagined myself, being with a company for 27 consecutive years. But prior to that, I was, doing pageants, modeling, cheering, doing all the things that I thought that that's what life was all about. And I had a unique journey where I didn't go to college after I graduated from high school. I thought, that wasn't for me. Little did I know that there was something out there even bigger and better for me. And that's when I joined corporate America in 1997. And I began in the sales organization as an admin. They used to call us secretaries back then. So administrative assistant, had all kinds of names, coordinator, you name it. And later on, I transitioned into a managerial role. Same company, we were acquired, and that just opened up the door to so many other opportunities for me throughout my 27 years. And throughout my journey, Natasha, I've taken steps backwards and to go two steps forward. Again, untraditional background that is, sales admin, sales operations, global compliance, legal, policies, and diversity, equity, and inclusion, passion of mine, near and dear. And then working now as a global director for well-being and mental health, and also overseeing our employee policies. And so throughout that journey and to where I've gotten to now, you know, I got my degree while working full time. So yeah, I did go to college. I did finally go to college. I had a great mentor who really championed me and supported me, along with my husband today, who they both said, get your degree. More doors will open for you. You'll see that. And so I've been fortunate enough to work with so many great leaders, and having a group, a community that has supported me as I've been on this journey for 27 years with the same organization. So I'm proud of my career progression. Unusual the way I've navigated my life, throughout corporate America, but I wouldn't change a thing. And so being in the med device industry where we save lives, we touch lives, it is something that is always going to be needed. I have no regrets being here. I love what I do.
Oh,
I do.
that's amazing. I mean, your path is really inspiring, actually, some of the things that you said there. Um, with that 27-year career journey, I'm sure that there were some challenges, some barriers that you faced. So tell us a little bit more about those. Like, were there some, can you give us some insight into some of the key challenges that you faced in your path, in your career path?
Oh, for sure. Like anybody, I've faced several challenges in corporate America, but I don't see them as challenges. I'll be honest with you. They were opportunities for me to learn and grow. You know how you fail, you get up, you dust yourself off, and
Yeah,
you go back at it again,
no,
right? That
definitely.
resilience,
I love that. Yeah,
you know,
it's true.
right? And so navigating and addressing, for example, systemic barriers encountered by multicultural women in the workplace was actually a learning experience. Balancing the diverse needs of employees while also trying to ensure you're promoting this inclusive culture and belonging, it requires passion, it requires effort, a lot of effort, diverse thinking, innovation. And that's why for me, knowing that I was working and doing DEI before DEI even existed, thanks to a great mentor, I am proud of those, challenges that were opportunities that I experienced because they only made me better, should I say? Sorry, better. But I will say this: early in my career, Natasha, I did face microaggressions. I did have, overcome biases that happen, right? Because, my happiness, my cheer, cheer, rah, rah, it can throw people off. And so some people may think, yeah, she's not that good. She's probably not, that smart, business acumen, etc. Or she can't really be that happy. She's not real. Oh, she's so articulate. Hmm. You know, f- Hearing and facing those things, again, those were opportunities to develop resilience, stay true to myself, advocate for change. And so today, what do? I get to do all of that and more. I get to focus on embedding well-being and mental health into the culture, into the world, while also championing diversity, equity, and inclusion. And for me, I got to tell you again, no challenges, just opportunities.
No, I really love that. And actually, do you know what, that reminds me of a podcast that I listened to, a Mel Robbins one. She's amazing. If anybody, if I don't know if you know who she is, but she's basically a fantastic motivational like speaker. Like I listen to her stuff
Uh-huh.
all the time. And one of the things I saw a clip from or listened to one of her podcasts is she'd mentioned about the that positive mindset, and that if you continue to think about the negative things that have happened or what will happen in your life, that will make them actually grow. And then it become much bigger. They become much more ingrained in your mind, and how you then view anything that happens to you. But if you switch that and you see the positive in all things,
Mhm.
you'll then start to see and manifest all of that. Like I think it's like, like the laws of attraction. Like I
Yes.
so wholeheartedly believe in that any challenge that is put forward or any failure that you face, that you see it as a learning journey, like as, okay, well, what can I learn from this? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's hard to do. And when you come across those challenges, it doesn't feel great. Like it
It doesn't.
doesn't feel great. Like, I don't think we're here saying that it's still great. These challenges are great, but I think if you can find the positive in it, that will propel you forward.
So true, so true. And I love that you use the word find the positive because that is me. I always find the positive. So thanks for sharing that.
No, and thank you. And so through a lot of those experiences, as I said, they probably have been challenging. But given your personal background, how has that impacted the way that you do your work?
So that's a good one, right? So, you know, those personal experiences in the background have influenced me in a variety of ways, personally and professionally. As a Black Hispanic woman, my personal experiences have been a driving force. And growing up, I will tell you, Natasha, I didn't always appreciate that I was both a Black and Hispanic person. I identified as Black because that's who I saw, and I would be made fun of. They'd make fun of, me calling my mom mom because she's Hispanic and she was very light skinned, didn't look like me, and imagine this is way back when, 70s, 80s. And, you know, these experiences, what they've done is they've taught me again the resilience and the importance of recognizing and appreciating who I am, right? Appreciating who we are and recognizing that being Black and Hispanic is proud. It's a proud moment for me because two individuals created me and made me who I am today. And my dad passed away after I was born, so I never had the opportunity to get to know him. So my mom, as a single mom, raised me. And I am very grateful to her for that, for teaching me and helping me appreciate both identities and understanding that it's beautiful. And these experiences, again, they have been lessons as well, right? Lessons that have informed my leadership style. how I strategically implement things. And I appreciate how I have empathy. I lead with empathy as well. And I am one that, by embracing who I am and taking those challenges as opportunities, and knowing all the experiences I've had in corporate America and then outside of that, that I am able to inspire and uplift others because I am always staying true to who I am and recognizing who I am and appreciating that. And these experiences, they've not only shaped me as a person, as personally as an individual, but in my career as well. They've enabled me to, again, lead like who I am with authenticity, with purpose, with meaning, with pride, and supporting people and lifting people up and cheering and making sure that I am encouraging them along the way and making a positive impact on the lives that I interact with in and outside of the workplace. So for me, these experiences, I don't know, they've I've grown, and I say that because I'm over 50, but I know I've grown and I've taken everything that I've learned over time to get to this place in my life where I'm like, I'm proud. I'm proud of where I am today. And I have no regrets at all.
No, and you definitely should be proud. And it's great to hear that. I think it's clear that your personal journey has deeply impacted your professional life and that the way that you do your work in a positive way. The results are there, like you can see the great work that you have been doing at your company. Um, I'm interested to hear, has there been like a pivotal moment? Is there like a significant kind of turning point for you that stands out as one that really kind of changed or impacted the way in which you work now?
Yeah. So, I'll be honest with you. There are actually two moments, right? And the first moment was having a dear mentor early on in my career who, again, encouraged me alongside my husband to go to school and get my degree, and encouraged me and saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And because of her passion and her mentorship and guidance, that is why I'm even more so passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And having the opportunity to then turn around and be able to work for her was amazing. But then I moved on. It was time for me to move on. She did a great job. And to this day, she is still my mentor. She is still leading our diversity, equity, and inclusion, and so much more. And she influenced me and has been instrumental in the 20 years that she's been there. That leads me to this next significant moment that came when I had two other mentors who came into my life who also saw something in me at a different time in my life and career and said, we need you to tell us, what do you want to do next? We want to support you, but you need to articulate what it is you want. What are your career aspirations? And they helped me find the courage and the grit and helped me stand up and say, this is what I want. And because of their support, their mentorship, their sponsorship, I was promoted into a director role. And my goal was met because I had a goal to do that within a certain part of my career. And it happened. And for me, their investment in my development and their belief in me, it it prepared me to where I'm at now. Being the head of well-being and overseeing our employee policies. And I can tell you, knowing that what all three of those women did for me, their support, they exemplify what it means to have women supporting women, lifting us up, and taking us along with them. And clearly, I see that and I do the same. I pay it forward. And so I'm fortunate to still work with all three of them.
Oh, that's
So again, 27 years with the same company, Natasha. That's
I
That's
can
another
see,
reason why
I'm
I'm still
totally
there.
seeing it. No, I mean, the more you're speaking about your own kind of journey, it's very clear and evident, like why you have stayed where you with the company that you've stayed with, because of the individuals that have really impacted your path and your journey there. Um, I wonder, you've spoken about kind of the three mentors that have significantly helped you in your career path. And one situation which you just touched on, in that where you knew that, right, okay, where do I need to go next? So like, she was your initial mentor. She helped guided you. You felt fantastic. You felt uplifted. But how was that transition to, okay, well, she's done such a great job. Like, now I'm ready to leave. Like, I feel like, because sometimes there's that loyalty. You don't want them to feel as though that you're saying like, okay, bye, like, thanks, no thanks, I'm
Yeah.
done now. Kind of, you know, that respect level. So how did that come about for you? Like, how did you feel? How did you work around that?
That was really hard because I am loyal and still loyal to her to this day, but we have a great relationship. I owe a lot of where I'm at today to her. And so for me, it has been it was hard. And I love to reminisce on it because I know it was hard for us both, but she's proud of me. And so that's why she still mentors me still to this day. We still connect, we meet, I run things by her. We have a great relationship. And so I can say, yes, it was hard at first. Oh, it was so hard. Oh, I won't lie, I had a few tears. But, that's part of, you have to grow. And that's what good mentorships are about. When that mentor sees that mentee, it is time for them to fly. And that's exactly what she allowed me to do and helped me do. And again, to this day, she's still mentoring me. So it's been really great.
Oh, beautiful. So moving a little bit into your current focus of work, well-being, why is it so important? Why is it so pivotal that organizations focus on their employee well-being?
It is important because if we, and I'm going to embed a little bit of DEI in that as well, right? Because we have to ensure that we're embracing all individuals' backgrounds, the diverse needs that they have. We have to make sure that we are seeing them and hearing them, creating trust, psychological safety. And it's important because we know, and research shows us, that employees who feel good and feel supported, feel heard and seen and included, they show up every day and they produce, right? They will work hard and do what they need to do to ensure that the job is done. But a leader who ensures that they're also taking care of their employees by ensuring their well-being and mental health, it goes even further in ensuring that that employee again is doing everything that is needed to ensure the success of not just the manager, the project, but the company as a whole. And you see it in the financial return, you see it in the reportings on top places to work, you know, it's there. And so it's important because we have to recognize that the landscape is changing and it's evolving, and there's all kinds of things going on out there. And it impacts individuals and they bring them into the workplace. They can't help it. It's they're human. We're all human and we're going to bring it in the workplace. But again, if we allow for the psychological safety, the conversations, the support, then you know what? Companies are going to be truly successful. And so are the leaders and the employees. So it's important. We have to make sure that we're investing in all of this. I mean, don't you agree?
I think it's so important, and actually, given the ever-changing landscape of our world, if you are already implementing policies and initiatives that support the well-being of your staff, if anything happens outside of the workplace in this world, be it positive, negative, at least then you're fully
Mhm.
equipped to be able to support your employees through that storm, so you're able to all weather it together. And I think what's happened in past years, significantly in particular through COVID, it's like a testament to that. Like it's clear, like the organizations that already had things in place that were focused on their employees' well-being were the ones that were still able to produce some sort of revenue in that time frame. They were still able to stay afloat because they knew that their staff felt that they were supported. And so then they wanted to be able to work wherever they could at a time that suited them. Like it just so I feel like it's just everything that you said, it just makes complete sense. I totally agree.
Awesome. I love it. And I appreciate you, hitting home on some of that and where, COVID during that time and even before COVID, organizations that were already doing all of that, supporting their employees. And that's why employees ended up staying, right? And that's why companies were able to hold on to their employees because they were already doing the things that needed to be done so that the employees could feel safe, could feel like their job was still secure, knowing that all of these moving dynamics were happening across the world. So I appreciate you sharing that about the COVID.
So, for the senior leaders that are listening today, what advice can you give for how that they can leverage their own personal experiences and journeys in their own careers?
Senior leaders have the opportunity to transform organizations by actually leveraging their unique backgrounds. If they take the time to share their personal stories and being authentic, leading with empathy, they can actually build trust and relatability within their teams. And when we talk about the authentic storytelling, it not only humanizes the individual, the leader, but it also creates this connection that resonates on a personal level. When people are willing to share their story, and we recognize not everyone wants to share, and we can appreciate and get that. But even actively listening to your employee and supporting them fosters an environment where diverse perspectives are not just heard, but they're valued as well. And so when leaders show that genuine interest in their employees, it cultivates that sense of inclusion, belonging, that mutual respect. And so I would say active engagement, it will encourage innovation, collaboration, and it'll drive the company towards greater success for the leader, the teams. So I would also say, let me also add about prioritizing well-being and mental health. Let me do that, Natasha. Let me also prioritize, remind them to prioritize that, to promote the initiatives that their companies have related to that, and champion well-being and mental health. Just like we do diversity, equity, and inclusion, we should be doing the same with well-being and mental health because those resources support everyone's overall health. And by doing so, we create this supportive, inclusive environment where everyone can feel empowered to thrive and not just survive.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's all your words and insights that you shared. It's so inspiring. And um, how do you see the future of corporate well-being, like 5, 10 years from now? What do you foresee? What does it look like?
I believe wholeheartedly that well-being and mental health are not going to be just fluff words, because you hear some of that, you see some articles about that. But well-being and mental health will actually become a core part of the strategy, organizational strategy, right? Focusing more on mental health and holistic support for employees. I see this holistic approach where the programs address the physical, emotional, social, the financial. And then I also see advances in technology, right? That's going to enable that personalized well being, the plans tailored towards the individual needs, while also encouraging the support seeking behavior, right? Technology is, I mean, I love AI. Shout out to your husband and the work he's doing in AI, but
Yeah.
it is a game changer. And our future is just getting bigger, better, and brighter to me when it comes to leveraging technology to help support organizations, employees, just everyone. I also feel like companies will adopt more proactive measures when it comes to, regular health screenings, making sure employees are getting those regular health screenings. I'm all about making sure we get the health screenings. I'm all about promoting that.
It's
And we
important.
also want to make sure, oh, it is, right? I mean, that's what helps us be proactive versus reactive when it comes to the health benefits and everything that we provide our employees. If we start to promote and remind them of the importance of getting their yearly checkup, it is amazing what can happen and what can be prevented before it actually happens. And so I also feel like, companies will start to, again, deeply embed well-being into even their values, right? With leaders actually role modeling the healthy behaviors and making employee well-being a fundamental aspect of their organization's success, just like we do with DEI.
I agree. I think it's really important. While some people on the surface just see it as like airy fairy, nice thing, but they don't necessarily see it as a strategic business imperative. That's where I feel hopefully in the years to come that people understand how important it is, and how vital it is once when it's done correctly to the success of your business. So yeah, I totally agree. Um, just before you do leave us, Ebony, because I know we've gone through so many different things and you've shared so much with us. But I would just like to get one piece of parting advice for our listeners.
Hmm. You know what I would say? I hope that everyone that's listening to this understands the importance of aligning their careers with their personal values and passions, living life to the fullest, embracing authenticity, embracing who they are. It's crucial that we foster authenticity, gratitude, positive relationships like the one here formed with you, Natasha, not only just in their professional, but in their personal lives. And if we promote a culture of well being and inclusion, we can actually achieve greater satisfaction and success. And when I talk about living life authentically, I tell people I live my life out loud. I'm on social media. I love to share happiness, fitness, you name it. But living authentically and embracing who you are, it actually allows you to bring your full self to every aspect of your life and leading you to feel more fulfilled and joyful and experience that. So remember, it's about creating a supportive environment and one where everyone, even you, can thrive and feel empowered to live your best and most authentic lives. That's what I would say.
Oh, that's wonderful, Ebony. Honestly, that's so great. I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation today, and I do hope our listeners have as well. For everyone who's listening, and tuning in, how best can they connect with you?
Sure, they can connect with me on LinkedIn at Ebony Travis Tichenor. You can find me motivating people on Instagram at Ebony Travis. And, you can just ping me, DM me, whatever you want to do. I'm always happy to get a message.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'll put a link down below to your LinkedIn profile. So, for everyone listening, if they want to reach out to you, find out a little bit more about the work that you're doing and keep up to date on it, they can connect with you. But Ebony, as I said again, I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you so much for sharing with us your journey and your insights and experience. And I can't wait to speak to you again.
Thank you, Natasha. You too. And thanks for all the great work that you do as well. Appreciate you.